first of all, are you ready to get started?
I think so.
You're fine. Just be you. You're
I
fine.
suck at interviews, but let's do this.
Now you had me laughing last night. That text was funny.
For sure.
All right. So essentially, first and foremost, thank you for giving me some of your time this morning to do an exit interview for Push. I really, really appreciate you. What I want to find out, first of all, is why did you take the program? What about it spoke to you where you felt like this is a program that I should be signing up for? What was it?
So I'll be honest with you, when originally I signed up with Push in February, and I remember logging into the first class, and your first words were, "We're going to role play. I'm going to call on you. I'm going to do," and I was like, click. Never came back. I was so nervous. I was like, no, role play is not for me. Cold calling is not for me. None of this is for me. I just want to meet people, sell their houses, and that's that.
Okay.
So then when did we start Push? April?
It was in May.
May, okay. So then Beck, our coach from the Fort Lee office, said, you guys should all sign up for this. And I was like, you know what? I kind of started to get used to the fact that, like, okay, I need to do something.
Right.
I'm not doing anything, so I have to do something. And he was like, sign up. And I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Give it a shot. Worst case, I'll hang up again. But I guess when I feel on the spot,
Yes.
I just do it. And then it's like, I can't fail my coach here, and I can't say I quit because I'm not a quitter. So no, let's try it. So then the first class went through, and you gave us that amazing homework, and which was actually great for me because my kids were still in school. Mm-hmm. So it was like, look, mommy has homework. You guys have to do your homework. So it was fun. But I said, okay, first class. We did fine. There was no role play. You didn't pull on anybody. I can get used to this. And then I think it was the second class you gave us our partners. Mm-hmm. And I got Brianna, and I was like, thank God it's somebody that, like, I kind of know from our office. We only met once, Brianna and I, and then your class was like our friendship. And I'm so grateful that you gave me her, because she was like into it. So she kind of put me on my feet, and she was like, okay, we're meeting every day, 9:15, let's do this. And I was like, I can't say no. Again, I'm not quitting this. No, I'm doing it. And slowly we got into the role play, and I was like, Brianna, I feel so dumb right now, but whatever, let's do it. And then I remember all of a sudden I was like, I could be in class. And then I think you called on me one time. We did a role play. I forgot who it was. I was fine. Like, I know I was nervous a few times because I was like completely blanked out because I don't know what to say. But then once I got the hang of it, I was like, I ended up clearing everybody from the screen in my head. And I was just like, it's just me and you, and you're a client, and let's just do this. Like, this is real life. And that was it. So now I can actually role play.
And you're doing it, right? I didn't really notice that you were super nervous. So listen, you put yourself out there, and your growth comes in your discomfort, right? You get uncomfortable, and that's how you grow. You lean into it. Good for you.
Absolutely. I got out of my comfort zone, and and then we had to record it, which secretly I never watched the recording.
Oh, really? What keeps, if you don't mind me asking, what keeps you from watching it?
Because I don't want to watch myself. It's like when I story on Instagram and my husband sits next to me, and all of a sudden I hear a voice, and I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar. I'm like, oh, that's my voice. I'm like, don't watch that now. Watch that later. I don't want to hear myself.
You should. It will help you grow. It may be, I don't like hearing my voice, so I hear you on that.
Right.
It will help you grow, I promise you. So think about, if you don't look at it, at least listen to yourself.
Yeah, I have to, like, that's like another stepping stone that I have to surpass.
Well, listen, we're all constantly growing. I just will tell you, there's a lot of information in listening and going back and replaying and hearing how you show up. And if there's a lot of ums, or if you're
Right.
talking too fast or maybe talking too much, you'll pick up on it. So definitely baby steps, but get into it, get into reviewing the tape.
And also I've had great partners like Brianna and Sheila,
Right.
who Sheila reached out and said, "Do you want to do the round robin?" And I was like, "Oh, do I want to? This is so weird. No." And then I was like, "Okay, again, I can't like be a chicken here."
Yes.
So I did it, and we actually sat down, and it was actually very comfortable. Like, then again, it's people that I kind of know, so we're not judging each other.
Right.
Um, but it was just it felt natural. It started to feel natural.
Love it. So you mentioned the role play, the round robins, the role play partners, the script practice, writing out the listing presentation, all of those activities that I had you doing in class. How do you feel like that helped you get better at mastering the script and mastering the presentation?
It definitely internalized it.
Mhm.
Whereas when Brianna did the live presentation,
Yes.
I was literally screaming at the screen. I'm like, "Tell her about the dollar bills. Throw that in."
Yeah.
So and then it's funny because now if somebody calls me or texts me from like a company that wants to sell you something or whatever it is, I'm like, "You're using the same script just in a different form, but the same concept of like, so is tomorrow at 11 better or 4?" So it's like,
Yes.
wait a second. Okay.
Yep. It works. It works.
That's
Okay. I'm glad to hear that that worked out well for you. Talk to me about me as the instructor. And here's what I want to say before you answer. When I asked for feedback, I really need it. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I have tough skin. I want to improve so that I can do a better job for you the next time you take it. So when
right.
you think about me as the instructor, my delivery, was I clear? Did I take my time? Was I thoughtful in answering questions? Did I make anyone feel like silly for asking questions? What was your experience with me as the instructor?
No, I felt very comfortable.
Okay.
I did not feel like I was picked on, or I felt you definitely opened up. You were the coach that got me out of my comfort zone. I'll put it that way.
Oh, love
So,
that.
so that does say a lot because it's hard for me to go get the client, let's say.
Right.
But I know once I'm in the door, that's it.
Got
All
it.
bets are off. I'm with the deal, 1,000,000,000%. I give it my all.
Got it.
But I just needed that like push, and
Well,
you definitely gave it to me, and I am gonna be grateful forever.
that's so awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing that with me. That makes my day.
Yay!
What's one thing that you feel I can do to improve as a coach when it comes to teaching the push program? Is there anything that I could do a better job at?
I thought of this, and I didn't feel like no, because you gave us partners, you basically gave us all the tools necessary. Maybe if you could just be a little bit more breakdown, like for instance, let's like a FISBO packet, like what should we put or what, just those little details. But overall, everything was like just here, now do it. Like you gave us all the information possible.
So, as an example to what you're saying, if I said, hey guys, click on this link, it's a Google Drive. Here are several documents that you can use in the for sale by owner packet. Here's why you
Yes,
want to include them. But here it is. Like,
yes,
here's the information.
yes,
Done. That's easy. That's
yes.
easy.
But besides that, everything was in our face. And if you can't succeed with this, then you can't succeed at all at
Okay.
this point.
Talk to me about, so the class went from 11 until 1, and then I would do push overtime for 15 minutes to half an hour. Did you find push overtime worth your time, or is it something that I could take out? What did you think about
No,
that?
it was great. It's a great little like half hour, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, because there's definitely questions that people ask that I might not have thought about at that minute. but I definitely would say like, oh yeah, that's true. Like, wow, that's such a good scenario. Like, just gives us more of like a personal experience, storytelling to have for future deals or.
Okay. All right. Here's a question I just thought about. So I don't do any CMA training as far as how to adjust comps. Do you
Okay.
feel like that should be a prerequisite to taking this course where you at least had to go through some form of how to do a CMA so that when we're going through the listing presentation, you know how to make the adjustments and talk about pricing?
It would definitely help to add that in.
Okay. What I'm thinking of is either making that a prerequisite or maybe a week prior to class start, everyone who signed up, hey, watch this video on how to do a CMA. At least you're familiar with it. We will be covering this in class, but you need to know how to do it, at least the basics of it. So I
Yeah,
thought about putting together a video or sharing one of the videos that are already put together from Larry Gruber, just
yeah,
showing you the basics of doing a CMA.
for sure.
Okay. All right, perfect. Let's say you're sitting in your market center in Fort Lee and you hear some agents, vacillating on whether or not they should take push. What would you say to them based on your experience on why they should take it?
Don't think twice. I already signed up for August.
I saw that.
So even if I have to obviously do all the homework again and do all the listing presentation, the practice will only make it perfect. So it doesn't hurt and I would take push again after that and after that, because at the end of the day, there's always something that I'm sure you're going to say that's going to hit differently at
Yeah.
that time of whatever. Maybe I'm going to have a deal that I'm going to need you on. I don't know, anything.
Yes. And you're growing. So it's that saying, no man walks through the same river twice, because it's no longer the same river. He's no longer the same man. You're growing. So when you come through it the next time, maybe you've internalized the presentation, but you really need more work around the objection handling and closing. So you'll focus more on that the second time or the third time. I mean, I've had people like Hayes that take it 8 times. I've had other people like Tracy take it 4 times. Like, it's a program that's meant for you to come back over and over again. So I'm glad to hear that you'll be part of the August class. Now, what was your major takeaway from the program? Like, if you thought about the one lesson, besides getting out of your comfort zone, what was the one thing that you learned and pushed that you feel is going to have the biggest impact on your business?
Forget about the fear. Like,
Forget about the fear.
you're done.
Yep.
Just what's the worst thing they could say? No.
Oh,
But if I didn't try, then it's a no already. But if I did try, it might be a yes, and you never know.
that's exactly right. I love that. Okay. Okay. Is there anything that I didn't ask you or any thoughts that you have for me about the push, the program, the material, me as the instructor, anything that you want to share with me that I didn't ask you about?
No, I think it's pretty like self-explanatory.
Okay.
I mean, once you take the class, then you understand. But if someone is thinking twice about taking it, don't think twice. It's definitely worth your money. Because this is cheaper compared to what real estate coaches are charging.
I know.
And
I
I
know.
actually signed up with a real estate coach, and it's very pricey. And it's funny because I'm listening to things and I'm like, David taught me that. Like, David taught me. Like, I hear these things and I'm like, but I knew that. But I knew that. Of course, there's things that I'm learning, but
Of course.
majority of it, I'm like, I'm going to take push again and again and again.
So what I hear you saying is I need to raise my price.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, world. But you know what? Yes, I do see you becoming famous one day. So if people are going to take advantage of it now, then they really should.
All right. Wow. That makes me uncomfortable when you say that. Like,
No, because you might be like the next Tom Ferris. So I'm
wow.
just saying, and we're not going to be able to get in touch with you. And then we're going to need to talk to like your assistant. And it's not going to be personal. So whoever takes push now, I mean, take advantage of it now.
Well, one thing I hope you know about
Have
me,
you?
when you're in my circle and you're part of my tribe, you always know how to get a hold of me. I
We're
think
grandfathered in.
yes, you are. And I think I do a good job of like reaching out and touching and talking to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
When I get your text messages about the 66-day challenge, I'm like,
I know. You're not
my
the only one.
face is like, oh no, I didn't do it. But then again, I did choose a very challenging 66-day challenge of making reels every day. And it's impossible to do it every day. So my mistake was that I didn't set at least 2 days a week to record and get like at least a week's worth of content or 2 weeks worth of content, which is what I'm going to start working on now.
Well, can I just say this? It's not hard to get content. What you
Right.
should be doing right now is having your camera positioned somewhere and show you on Zoom with me. And
I
that
don't know.
10 seconds worth of content, like working on blah, blah, blah. And that's it. Like a reel can be 10 seconds with just some text over it, like practice makes perfect, perfect practice makes perfect. And that's it. Like, don't overthink it. I
It's
probably made,
definitely easier than it's easier. It
yeah,
definitely is easier because like there's like stupid reels that will send us a message, but it's just like my facial expressions or whatever. It's
yeah.
just a lesson. But I do want to get more not I guess personal, but not personal, but more of like um for people to click with me more.
Yeah.
So that, like give more content of like knowledge and information.
Mhm.
Of course I could do all the funny ones, but I feel I'm lacking in giving the information, like what's going on in the market and stuff like that.
So, a friend of mine, Megan O'Brien, you may know her. She's on the calls every once in a while. She does What's Up with Meg, and she likes to cook like you do and like I do. And so she's there making pasta and she's giving an update on the market. And oh, by the way, did you know this is what's happening? And so it's doing the stuff that you love and then just kind of integrating some of those talking points into it. Just don't overthink it. Let people get to know you. Like, look at me. Like I attempt to live what I want you guys to do. I'm sharing my hikes. I go live when I'm hiking now. Like, hey, check this spot out. This is where I am. This is what I'm doing. And it's been well received.
No, it is. It's I told you, when you're giving us 5 videos a day, out of those 5, maybe 2 spoke to me, maybe 1 spoke to this person, and maybe 1 spoke to that person, but we all
Right.
got a message that day that we needed.
Yep. And if the message is just, I need to be making videos, that's a good message too, right? I just thought of another question I have for you.
Mhm.
Should I make it mandatory that cameras be on?
Yes.
I think so too. I got into, because during COVID, they told us we can't force people to put their cameras on. So I got very lax in that policy. And now it just turned into a thing where people log on and cameras are off. But for class though, I think I'm going to make it, if you can't have your camera on, you have to go watch the video. It needs to be on if you're here.
Yeah, I understand people work. I know if there was an agent that works at her office, so she kind of couldn't have it on, but she did do a lot of effort. She did make a lot of effort to have it on.
Right.
I can understand that because sometimes live is better than watching a replay,
Yes.
but definitely you have to have your cameras on because otherwise you could just story this. Like, you're on Instagram, you're storing, you're talking to yourself.
True.
So I need to see your facial expressions. I need to see you. Just like I hate Zoom. I hate watching classes on Zoom. I'd rather be in person.
Yeah.
So definitely cameras should be on.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry you weren't part of Push when we did it live. We used to have a lot of fun getting together live and doing the class. That's how I
Oh,
started.
that's so interesting.
And the only reason I went to Zoom is in the middle of a Push class, COVID hit and we had to go to Zoom. And then I was like, I like Zoom. Life by design. I can be home. And so I stuck on Zoom.
So it is convenient because now that in August, my kids finish camp August 11th.
Okay.
So those 3 weeks before school starts, I'm going to be home. So I have
So
no
it
choice.
works out. Yeah, it works out.
But if we had it in person, it's a trillion times better.
I'll be doing more in-person events like when Brianna did the live listing presentation. I'll be coming up doing more live events However, just with my life by design, how I want to grow my career, I want everything to be virtual because I want to travel and be able
Right.
to coach from across the world. So, but I'll have some events where
And
we
take advantage of it now while you're still here.
seriously, why I can still get around and enjoy life. So, all right, cool. Well, thank you. That kind of wraps up my exit interview. I'm going to head out to the camera store and purchase me a new lens. Look at you. That's right. Create the content. What's up? I love it. And so yeah, thank you. I really appreciate your time. And if you're available tonight on Real Talk, I plan to talk about giving people their flowers now. We tend to wait. I see all these people who are passing and these great posts about how great these people are. Are we telling that to the people now when they're here with us? Are we talking to them about how much they mean to us now and giving people their flowers when they're here? So we're going to talk about that tonight and just have a conversation.
I always post that little meme that says, don't wait till I'm dead to say, oh, I wish I would have said hi. Oh, call me now.
That's
Call me now. I'm here.
That's right. And I have a policy and I'll leave with this. I started this probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. But anytime I think of someone, I just pick up the phone and either call or text. Hey, didn't want anything, just thought of you. Hope you're doing well. And that's it. 'Cause
Exactly.
I don't want to have that regret of not reaching out when I knew I should have.
Exactly.
And I really hate it when I think about reaching out to someone and I don't, and they call me. That makes me mad because I'm like, I should have called you first. Like,
And it sounds so cliche to say, I was just thinking about you.
right.
Like, no.
Now, when I think, I call. So yeah, if you're free tonight, join. If not, hopefully I'll see you on the morning mindset call. Ron Lagash, she's going to come back and talk about like how to put together an offer that wins. If you're working
Oh,
with a buyer, how to get it accepted. Like
okay.
he's going to come back in tomorrow morning. So maybe I'll see you on one of the two calls.
Yay.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, David. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.